and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning.
Not only tickets to Lincoln Park, but also VIP tickets to Smoking Guns. You could win those at 7:30. All you need to do is be listening and play the game. Lincoln Park's going to be at the BOK Center on Monday, April 28th. A few days before that is Smoking Guns 10, where you could win those VIP tickets to sit ringside with us. Cage side probably is the more
Hell yeah!
on the floor.
Not like literally on, unless you want to. You don't have
I mean, the
to
chair
sit
is
there.
on the floor.
True that, but
The chair is on the floor.
I don't want people getting confused and be like, well, you told me to sit on the floor.
Well, then sit on the floor.
It's your prerogative.
Yeah, live your best life, man. If you think that's a better seat, who am I to stop you?
I can't see anything down here. Well, that's your own dumbass fault.
We've got listener emails. You can always email us, show@kmod.com. Show@kmod.com. Read your email in the air. Get advice from us and you guys. We've got to tell the truth. Your chance to get to know the show better. Ask any question you want. And it's time for CMall 2025. Qualifying people every hour with us. Score a pair of tickets to every concert KMOD is a part of If You Win CMall. To get qualified, you got to listen for that cue every hour and throughout the day. It's all from Yingling Flight and KMOD. And Ashley Froelich of Kansas just got qualified. Congratulations, Ashley. If you want to be the big winner like Ashley, then you need to be listening for that cue every hour with us. I was just reading about the movie Deliverance. Have you ever seen Deliverance, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Gimpy?
Oh, yeah. I actually own it on DVD.
Wow.
Yeah.
When was the last time you pulled out that DVD and slipped it in the DVD player that's not hooked up to your big TV?
Right. It's been 10 years, maybe less than that, more than 5. Because I had a girl, I think it was, that's never seen it before. And I'm like, oh, you got to watch this hillbilly movie. You know, so I sat her down, taped her to the chair, and forced her to watch.
Yeah. My wife had never seen it. I was like, well, we got to watch it. It's maybe one of the best movies of all time. And we get to the squealing part, and she's like, I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just a movie.
Right. It's one of the most memorable parts of the movie, if not the. It's either that or the dueling banjo scene would be the two most memorable parts of that movie. You gonna get down on your knees and do some mighty fine praying now, aren't you, boy? And then he chases, I was one guy, and then the other hillbilly chases Ned Beatty up the hill. You're gonna squeal like a pig, boy. Whee! Squeal! Whee! Man, and then Ned Beatty had to go on acting after being known as the guy that got butt raped in Deliverance.
Yeah. For those who don't know this movie, the cast is like wildly.
Oh, yeah.
Burt Reynolds is in it, John Voight, amongst others. But in the movie, these 4 men are having a guys' weekend.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're having a guys' weekend, and unbeknownst to them, they are stumbling into a real guys' weekend.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
To say there is rape in it would probably be an understatement.
Yeah.
It is, I don't think it's a good date movie.
Nope.
It's not a good Valentine's Day movie. It's not a good Christmas movie. It is, I can't really tell you a time that movie is appropriate. Like, for example, Silence of the Lambs, House of a Thousand Corpses. There's an appropriate time for that movie. Single white female.
Right.
But there are a few movies that are not, there's not an appropriate time for you to put it in the player or call it up on demand.
There isn't.
And Deliverance is one of them.
The only time is like when you say, hey, I've never seen Deliverance before. That's the only time it's proper to put it in and be like, all right, we're going to sit down and watch this.
It's more of a, I dare you to watch it.
It's not that bad, though. It's not that bad, minus the rape scene in the hills. It's not that bad.
Stop right there. Let's let that hang. Besides the rape scene.
Right.
Yeah,
No
but
one
that's
wants to see that.
That's not that long. It's like what, maybe 2 minutes of the entire movie.
I've never been raped, but 2 minutes feels like a long time.
They say it only takes 2 minutes for a guy, but hey, whatever. That's neither here nor there. The fact of it is that's not as it is a very memorable part of the movie, it's not what the movie is about. You know, that's just a part of it, and it doesn't take that long. I mean, hell, they're just trying to float the river and have a good old time. You know?
You know when someone says, oh gosh, I can't unsee that. I think that phrase came about after seeing that movie. It's one of those movies that once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Okay.
I've got plenty of movies that I have stopped watching the movie because I'm like, I don't need to see this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? That movie with Jennifer Lawrence, Baby or whatever it's
Yeah.
called.
Where they pass it around.
Where they kill the
crowd.
baby. Yeah. I don't need to see that. The babysitters where the dads are having sex with babysitters and she's calling for her mom. There are movies that I'm like, I'm good.
That's fun.
I don't need to see it.
Couple of scenes from Saltburn.
100%.
Don't need to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen that
If
show,
I
so
never
don't
see
know.
that movie again, totally fine.
Absolutely.
I've watched Deliverance several times.
Own it.
I own it on DVD. I don't own Babysitters. I've only watched it one time. I haven't gone back because of that scene. It's just so weird. And I haven't seen this other one with the baby or whatnot, or Saltburn. So maybe I'll have to check those two out to see where they stand on the... Would I watch that again?
Yeah. Top 5 movies you would never watch again. Deliverance probably could be on that list.
Okay.
But-
Human Centipede.
100%.
All 3 of them, even though I watched all 3 of them, I only watched all 3 of them one time.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
not-
need to go back.
And we're not talking about movies that are bad.
Right.
Right? We're talking about movies that have a scene in it and you're like, hard pass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, Deliverance is definitely a movie. There's not an appropriate time for you to go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm never watching that again. But there's a scene in the movie, we've talked about it a couple of times, where Billy Redden, who plays the banjo player,
Yeah.
and I didn't know this, he didn't know how to play the piano. They found this guy literally for his looks.
That's
And-
the squinty-eyed kid, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how to play the banjo, but they needed him to play the banjo. And so what they did is they had a guy who was a banjo player. Billy Redden held the banjo, but the other hand is the banjo player from behind him
Wow.
playing the banjo. Now, these type of things are this little trickery, not uncommon in movies. Right? But imagine you now have to learn how to play the banjo because you're going to be playing movie cons and whatever.
yeah.
And they're going to be like, play the song, man.
Yeah.
And now, I don't even know how old he is, but he's not young, obviously, anymore.
Right.
And he's still, this is what he is known for.
Yeah.
And he still is like any picture you find of him, he's holding a banjo. But he didn't know how to play the banjo. He literally was on there because he looked like, sorry, this isn't going to be a fun thing for some of you to hear. He looks like a Nick Narc.
Yeah, he looks like an inbred because that's, the hillbilly kind of cliche, I guess you could
And
say.
that's what they're going for in the movie. Is to scare people out of ever going into the Appalachian Mountains.
Right.
Have you ever been to the Appalachian Mountains since you've watched The Deliverance?
Nope.
I have, and I have also been to other parts of the country that give that same vibe.
Right.
Looking at you, Lebanon, Missouri. Looking at you, pretty much the whole state of Mississippi.
Just drive through as fast as you can.
I'll never forget driving to Gulf Shores, Alabama with my wife, who's pregnant, and my newborn, as we were having this baby moon thing, right? And my kid's like 2 at this point, I think, almost 2. And we're driving to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and following Waze, and it takes us through this shortcut, and I'm talking dirt road town.
Yeah.
People on their house porch is next to the road.
Right.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, geet, wash your feet. Let's get out of here. We cannot get out of here. She's like, slow down. I'm like,
You and your fancy ass ride. No
Blonde
way,
hair,
right?
wife from the front.
Right.
Y'all ain't
White
from
Yukon.
around here, are you? Do not ask for directions.
Sure, it was fine. But yeah.
Yeah, true. They could have brought you in and fed you, good Southern wholesome food, cornbread and pork chops, and, maybe raped you and killed you later, but
Skinned you. Yeah.
No. What's the movie with Batista? And is it called The Cabin?
Yeah, the Cabin in the Woods, I think.
Is it called Cabin in the Woods? I don't think it's called Cabin in the Woods.
No.
Maybe it is. And they're like, hey, yeah, no, it's all good, man. And, oh, no, they're staying in a cabin. It might be called Cabin in the Woods.
Knock at the cabin.
Knock at the cabin. And they come and check on them. Their neighbors or people in the area, and they're there to kill them.
Yeah. It's an M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie.
Oh, is
yeah.
it?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's creepy.
Yes.
Yeah.
A young girl and her parents are taken hostage by four-armed strangers. Not a four-armed stranger. Who demand their family make an unthinkable choice to avert the apocalypse.
It's a really fascinating movie. Yeah, the idea is that one of them must die to stay alive or whatever stupid thing. But Batista plays like the calm person, tries to be the nice person, but he's a menacing figure.
Yeah.
Sorry, was a menacing looking figure.
Right.
But I was thinking about having this movie, successful movie. You're one of the most iconic scenes from the movie. You go from being a nobody to like everybody knows who you are. You're so recognizable because of how you look. And then you're like, I got to play the banjo. Like I've tried to play the guitar many times. I just can't wrap my head around it. And I can't imagine I suddenly have to be forced to play it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get a stranger's arm coming out from around you. In the old reach around for the banjo.
It's a couple. I mean, to say there's a reach around in Deliverance.
That's just the first one.
It wouldn't be. That wouldn't be what you expect.
No.
You would think I would take you to a different part of the movie, not in the banjo scene.
I never knew that he didn't play that. I thought he was legit playing. Like they found this kid. He looked funny. He knew how to play the banjo. And I was like, all right, well, we've got a spot for you. Just sit on the porch. Pick away.
Imagine you do the movie and they're like, hey, who'd we get for the kid on the porch playing the banjo? Oh, you're going to love him. He's perfect. Great. How good is he with the banjo? Oh, no, he can't play. All right, we'll figure that out. And they get there and like, what are we going to do, man? I don't know. Just put his arm around. We'll change the camera angle a little bit so you can't see the human being behind this child.
Right.
Yeah.
He was in Big Fish as well. I knew that he didn't do a lot of movies.
I mean, I think you can stop right there because the movie's a Tim Burton movie, so anybody in Tim Burton looks weird. I think that one of the main characters, co-main characters in the movie is this 9-foot human being.
Right. So this guy, this Billy Redden guy, has done 4 movies. He's done Deliverance and Big Fish, Outrage, Born in Terror, and a movie called Banjo. In 3 of the 4 movies, he plays the part of Banjo Man. That's his character's name.
That's his shtick.
Yeah, the only real name he has in the movie is Deliverance. His name was Lonnie. But otherwise, he's just known as Banjo Man.
What do you think Billy Redden, who's 68, his net worth, easily one of the biggest movies of all time?
Yeah, but we say it all the time. We don't know what kind of, deal he had. He was a child. It was the time of the movies. When did Deliverance come out? Like 78, something like that?
72, dude.
72?
Wow.
Okay. So early 70s. Did they have deals like that? Lindsay, what do you think?
Yeah, let's say he's probably worth $100,000.
I am going to say, I think it's less than that. 25 is what's popping up in my head, but I'm going to give him 75 instead.
How many motorcycles do you own, Gimpy?
3, 4.
You have a bigger net worth than he does. It's $50,000.
All right. I didn't think it'd be that much.
No.
Because he hasn't done anything but, those 4 movies. And I didn't even know about 2 of them. I've seen
one
Big
of them's
Fish.
a documentary, I think. I think Hillbilly's a documentary.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
what,
yeah.
the banjo? That one?
I think Hillbilly is a documentary about that stereotype.
This one here, Banjo, it's a horror movie. A couple's weekend in Wisconsin woods to rekindle the relationship turns more than deadly when they are faced with an old American supernatural secrets dating back to the 1800s. So that's that one. What's this Outrage? Born in Terror. Another scary
we don't
movie?
need to go through all of them. I'm just saying there's a movie in there called Hillbilly that's in his arsenal, apparently.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I didn't
but
go too far.
imagine, like, he's getting all this notoriety. He gets himself an agent. I want to do something. I'm better than I'm more than a banjo player.
Are you?
Sorry.
Listen here, inbred. You were born a banjo player. You are a banjo player. You'll be a banjo player.
So learn how to play.
You want to get far in this world, kid? Learn how to play the banjo.
Listen, you better just take the bit and run with it. I imagine, like, if you did a Saturday Night Live skit and then you're like, we got to just have Billy Redden show up to play the banjo. I would wager 60% of the audience viewing and in there wouldn't know who he is.
Oh, no.
One, he obviously doesn't look like a child anymore.
Right.
And two, you go, I know the song.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if he was on a porch just playing the banjo, but you'd be like, I don't know.
Right. His eyes aren't even squinty anymore like they used to be when he was a kid.
Yeah, no, he's 68, so they're a little saggy.
They
He needs that
up a
cream
little
I
bit.
keep seeing try to be sold to me when I get up in the morning.
Right.
It doesn't work. It's a trick. All right, we got tickets to Lincoln Park and VIP tickets to Smoking Guns we're going to give away. We've got listener emails. We've got to tell the truth, and more qualifying for See 'em All.
Tulsa's morning show is coming.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. Call us toll free, 833-460-5663. News quickies are stories you may have missed in the news, but we cover them here and put a link on our Facebook page if you want more.
It's time for News Quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News Quickies from the Big Man Morning Show at 97.5 KMOD.
Bougie bandit disrobed mannequin while pilfering Prada and more. This happened in New York City, where 48-year-old Jeffrey Gonzalez, who has 76 arrests on his record, allegedly stole fashion merchandise that included pricey Coach bags, a $2,300 Falconeri coat, and a $3,400 Acne Studios jacket. In his most stunning heist, he strolled into a Zadig Voltaire boutique on Washington Street in the Meatpacking District on February 3rd and allegedly stripped the clothes right off of a mannequin. He disrobed the dummy. He made off with a bag worth about $500, a Liston leather jacket worth $800, for a grand total of $1,296 in mannequin mugging. Gonzalez was suspected in a pattern of 9 heists that began back on December 20th when he walked into the Falconeri shop on 5th Avenue in the Flatiron District and swiped a jacket worth $2,300 and a vest priced at $475 right off the rack. Then on January 27th, he strolled into a Coach store in Soho and removed $1,600 worth of bags. The following month, he picked up the pace, hitting Acne Studios in the West Village, and grabbed a $3,400 coat. He also pilfered around $3,000 in Prada merchandise and other designer shades from 2 sunglass huts. He walked into a Gucci store at One World Trade Center on March 25th and stole a handbag that was selling for nearly $4,000 and a silk scarf worth $240. And then on April 13th, he walked into a Moschino store and with a female accomplice. The woman ran out of the store, but Gonzalez was nabbed with a purse worth about $2,200, and he was arrested. He's now in jail on Rikers Island on $15,000 bail on 3 counts of grand larceny. They say that retail theft is down 8% so far, from 17,000 to 15,000 citywide, but it's up 57% over 5 years ago, according to the New York Police Department.
Is that one of those, we're not busting shoplifters in the act, so let them just go ahead and steal? You know, you see those, some people just brazenly walking into a store, filling up carts with whatever.
Yeah.
And then walking out like it ain't nothing.
Well, it is not more of the we're not punishing, though there is some of that. It's more of the criminals have gotten smarter and understand that loss prevention, and they build a case on them. Mm-hmm. And so they know that there's a certain amount they can steal before there's a real intensity to the situation.
Right.
And so they do that and then try never to go back to that. Then that case isn't getting built.
Right, right.
So like loss prevention's attitude has always been, we'll let you steal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just build a file on you.
Right.
And so instead of getting you on one charge of $500, we're going to get you on 7 different charges of $500 each.
Right.
So now it's a completely different charge that will be a more severe punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got him for larceny instead of...
Well, grand larceny.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like this guy just went to the mall and just started taking whatever the hell he felt like it. Regardless.
Well, and that is the other thing, is you see people that don't know that that's what the criminal mind is doing, and they're just like, okay, well, they're doing it. Why can't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it spins out of control.
Right, they're not scheming like the others.
Mm-hmm. Man calls 911 to report he shot his mom, and then calls back to try to call the whole thing off. Comes out of Arizona, where earlier this month, a 51-year-old guy named Aaron Morse, he called 911 because he shot his 74-year-old mama, Susan, right in the head. And as he was sitting there waiting for police to show up, he calls them back and I'm just kidding. She's fine. She's in her pottery studio. Well, the police show up anyway. That's where they found Sue with a gunshot wound in her head.
Wow.
Took her to the hospital. That's where she died later on. They went ahead and arrested old Aaron here. They say that when they got there, he had blood on his hands and blood on his shoes, and he smelt like booze. They say when he asked him about it, he just simply said arguing. And when he went to court, he acknowledged the severity of his actions and just said, I have committed a heinous crime. hey, remember that call about the mom? And I'm just playing.
This is a classic example of what we say when you hear a story like this. You think your mom and how much you care for your mom. Not that this person's mom was that. This mom's could have been a horrible person.
Right. She could have been a saint as well. And he shot her in the head.
Itchy hand signals big lottery win. This happened in Maryland where a man said his itchy hand inspired him to buy a lottery ticket, and he got $40,000. The Baltimore man told lottery officials he was shopping at the grocery store when his hand started itching. The player said a superstition about itchy hands, meaning a large sum of money is on the way, inspired him to stop and buy a Keno ticket at the lottery kiosk with super bonus using a few numbers he had seen earlier in the day. The man scanned his ticket at a lottery terminal and was shocked to learn he had scored a prize so large that the readout said, quote, "See lottery." The player collected $40,000 prize that he said will go into savings. Listen, I feel like the technology is good enough that if you have a kiosk, the answer shouldn't just say, "See lottery."
Right.
It should say, "Contact the lottery for more information about your winnings," or "Here's a phone number," or "Hey, you're going to need security."
Right.
Bring your you better have a valid ID. I'm just saying, the more than "See lottery" feels like an incomplete statement.
Right. See about what?
Right. That's not clear you won.
Right. Could have been a default in the machine, the kiosk. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense because maybe that's just the generic. Again, if you have a kiosk with all the things that they can do, I feel like you should advance the statement a little bit more.
Yeah, but think about it when you're at the gas pump and your card gets declined. It just says, "See cashier." It don't tell you, "Your broke ass ain't got enough money in the bank to pay for gas." It just says, "Go see the cashier."
Right, except there's somebody that can help you on premise.
Right.
Where the kiosk is not that. And I feel like "See lottery," is that what it said? Yeah, "See lottery" isn't a person, where "See cashier" is an individual.
Right. Yeah.
The lottery is an entity, and people work there.
And people live on Earth, and we breathe air.
Absolutely.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show is coming
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and what you want to say to 82945. See what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
The NBA postseason rolls on. Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons put an end to their NBA record 15-game postseason losing streak with a 194 victory over the Knicks in Game 2 at Madison Square Garden. In other action, Kawhi Leonard and the LA Clippers took down Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets 105-102 in the Mile High City. Both series are now tied 1-1. The action continues tonight at 6. The Milwaukee Bucks visit Indiana, where the Pacers lead that series 1-0. And our Oklahoma City Thunder are home at 6:30, where they lead the series 1-0 against the Grizzlies. And Game 2 for the Minnesota Timberwolves takes place at 8 in Los Angeles, where they currently lead 1-0 against the Lakers. The Hawks are making a major change to their front office. The team fired general manager Landry Fields on Monday. The 36-year-old was promoted to GM in 2022 after holding the assistant title 2 years before. Atlanta went 117 and 129 during his tenure and never made the playoffs. Onzi Sala was promoted to general manager in a following move, and the Hawks are now looking for a president of basketball operations candidate.
Did you see what the GM for the Dallas Mavericks said?
No.
So you might remember they traded their star.
Yeah.
They traded their star player away. And he said, quote, "I did not know that Luka was important to the fan base. I didn't quite know to what level."
I had no idea, huh?
Lies.
I don't know. I think it's entirely possible that his head could have been in the clouds
You're
or in the
that
sand.
Out of touch with your team and your fans.
That is massive to me to show like how dumb he is.
Yeah. He's the number one selling jersey.
Yeah, here is the actual quote from him, so you know I'm not just making that up.
I did know that Luka was important to the fan base. I didn't quite know it to what level, but really the way we looked at it is, you know, if you're putting a team on the floor that's Kyrie, Clay, PJ, Anthony Davis, and Lively, we feel that's a championship caliber team, and we would have been winning at a high level, and that would have quieted some of the outrage.
Had they not all gotten hurt.
No, I mean, I think it's fair to say if they were winning without Luka, then that nobody would have been upset.
Right.
Except everybody knew Luka was a key part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's a dominant player. He won their games, and then they got rid of him, and everyone else that they got hurt. I don't know. Number one jersey sales should speak for itself, I think.
Sometimes it does.
Yeah. Jets general manager Darren Mogi said Monday that cornerback Sauce Gardner, wide receiver Garrett Wilson, and defensive end Jermaine Johnson will have their fifth-year options exercised. All three players were taken in the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft. The first round of the 2025 NFL Draft is Thursday night in Green Bay. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of Groundworks Tulsa. More of the Big Mad Morning Show is next.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. Toll free. The phone number is 833-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. We want to hook you up with some free cash this spring season. Rock the Bank is back. 13 chances to win money throughout the day. $1,000 could be yours beginning at 8 o'clock this morning. Listen for that nationwide keyword, and when you hear it, enter it online at the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Your first chance is at 8, and it goes until 8 o'clock tonight from Tulsa's Cash Station, KMOD.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning, Corbin. First responders are duking it out for charity this Saturday at the BOK Center. We call it Smoking Guns 10. You can get your tickets at BOKCenter.com.
Congratulations to Jeremy Brewer of Catoosa. Jeremy heard the cue and is qualified for CMall 2025, brought to you by Yingling Flight. Make sure you're listening for that cue every hour with us and then throughout the day with Mel and J-Rod as well. CMall 2025, a chance to score a pair of tickets to every KMOD concert for the rest of the year. Make sure you're listening for that cue every hour. I heard a useless fact yesterday, and I can't stop thinking about it.
Okay.
And useless facts I really like them. I think they're really fun and enjoyable. Everybody's got one. Mm-hmm. Like one of my favorites is the Statue of Liberty can fit in the rotunda of the Capitol. That will benefit you in no way.
None.
But it's really fascinating to think about. You're like, wow, that's really big, right? Some of the other ones I know. Alligator and manatees hang out together.
Who'd have thought?
Alligators see manatees that's a little more than I can eat.
Right.
And manatees aren't scared of them, so they're buds.
Yeah.
Buttload is an actual form of measurement.
Right.
108 gallons of wine. It's a medieval measurement tool, buttload. Again, these are all useless things. I don't know if you ever need to know, short of you being a winemaker or a brewmaster, that what 108 gallons would be called. Mm-hmm. But one that I heard yesterday has really warped my brain. And when I tell you it, you'll go, oh, okay, huh. And then you'll probably move on. You won't hang on it like I did. But I'll explain why I'm hanging on it. And that is a person born blind has never been diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Okay.
But plenty of capable of seeing people have been diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Okay. I take it eyes are the key to schizophrenia?
I mean, people that are blind have hallucinations.
Yeah. But why wouldn't that make them schizophrenic?
I don't have the answer to this. So either the vision, as you said, is the key to unlock schizophrenia or not get it.
Right.
Or we go, people that have hallucinations that are born blind, we're like, wow, they're born blind.
Right.
Yeah.
And capable of seeing people will go, well, they're crazy.
Right. Because they're just making stuff up. Everybody is.
No, I'm tripping on it too, I think.
It makes no sense to me.
No.
I'm not going to sit here and say schizophrenia isn't a thing. It's clearly a thing. Mm-hmm. I've known people who are schizophrenic and the episodes they go through, and it seems disturbing to have to go through that. But I can't. How do we not know what the magic is here?
Right.
Right. What makes somebody schizophrenic? Mm-hmm.
And by the way, there's no real test for schizophrenia. It's all based off of symptoms that you think the person has or the person tells you. Right? It's not like cancer. Mm-hmm. It's more of like gluten.
Yeah. I hear voices and telling me to do crazy things or...
Are you describing me?
No.
I hear voices.
Right.
I hear people telling me to do crazy things. I have hallucinations. Mm-hmm. I might be schizophrenic. I don't know. I wonder if only like people that say they're schizophrenic are like they do a behavior that doesn't correlate with how you think a person should act, then gets diagnosed with schizophrenic. Or they start believing the symptoms they're being told they have.
Right. One possible explanation, the brain development is influenced by sensory input.
Yeah.
The lack of visual input and congenital blindness may lead to different brain reorganization compared to those with normal vision.
Yeah, listen, I've been down the rabbit hole. I've read all those things. They're not real compelling.
Right.
They're not, they're pretty boring audibly.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some smart people that figured out, but there is no consensus. Overall, there's no consensus on why. They're all just guessing. To me, the real question is, because you're blind and you have hallucinations, it's okay.
Yeah.
But if you are capable of seeing and you have hallucinations, we're like, whoa,
Then you're schizophrenic.
pump the brakes.
Right. So if someone's blind, kills someone because they hallucinated, they would get away with it?
I don't think you get away with
Or-
killing people.
I mean,
I think overall,
yeah.
you don't get away with killing people. If they point you as the person that killed somebody, you're held accountable for that. Due process. That would be the only way you would get away with it.
But someone who is diagnosed with schizophrenia might get away with it.
No. Unless you're defining getting away with it as being locked in a mental
Right,
institution.
right.
That's not getting away with
No.
it. Getting away with it means like they never caught me.
Right. This text says, how can a blind person visualize anything if they've never visually seen anything? And even if they tell you they're seeing something or visually seeing something, what to say that what they're saying they think they saw is actually anything if they never actually seen anything?
So what you're saying is if you see something, you don't see something, then how do you know what you're seeing?
Exactly. Exactly. Like, what's the color red? Well, here's fire. Ow. That's
Right.
Right.
I think that I think it's naive to think that people that are blind don't have visions.
In the head,
They don't have visions the way you do.
they see things differently.
Of course. They come to it's like reading a book. When you read a book, and they describe a street, you vision a street in your head
Right. Because we've seen it before.
that you think you've seen before in the book. Right? I would imagine blind people also see things in some capacity.
Right. Do we know anybody that's 100% totally blind? We know the blind guy that's legally blind, but he's not really blind because he
Right.
drives
Yo,
blind.
we know someone who's blind who can drive. We know someone who is paralyzed who can walk. Like,
Right.
We live in the Matrix. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was wondering if any of us know anybody who is legit walks with a white cane. I am blind AF, can't see nothing at all whatsoever. Because I like to sit down and ask them those questions. When I say tree, what do you vision in your head? What do you see in your head? Because clearly you've never seen a tree before. You may have been described what a tree is, by somebody who does have sight.
But how do you even describe something if they've never even seen anything before?
Right,
Well, this
exactly.
to me, this is the argument of kids have these memories. You only have memories of pictures.
Right.
You only have memories of pictures someone took of you or described it to you. You don't have the memory.
Right.
Hey, Corbin just did some Googling, and while being born blind seems to prevent schizophrenia, going blind later in life increases your chances of schizophrenia. I could see that. At least going crazy anyway, because you lost something you had.
Yeah, I think grief, if you will, spirals you, kind of like tendinitis, right? Like that constant high pitch will make people go crazy.
Right. Of course, our blind friend that drives, they run in packs. He says,
He goes to meetings.
If you want, I can introduce you to a full-on blind person. Always got a guy.
Do blind people, when they see other blind people and they're having a conversation, go, I see?
For sure.
Probably not. Probably not. I don't see. Right. That would mean the same. I don't know.
No, duh. I mean, I see, but barely. It's like Mr. Magoo.
I get what you mean.
I also come to the place with this weird fact that how did they find that out? Did somebody go, wait a minute?
We need
No,
research.
only people that could see are going skits. What's going on here?
Right.
Hold on, we'll get to cancer later. Let's figure this. How did they come to that conclusion? How did they? I want to know the person was like, hold on. This is sus.
Yeah. How many cases of schizophrenia do we have diagnosed? And what type of person were they? Could they see? Could they not? Were they blind? Were they not?
Yeah. And if you go back in history and see how crazy people were even dealt with.
Right.
Yeah.
Sent to state, killed, whatever.
Killed probably the more likely answer. You had a brother or sister who was crazy or even had like a deformed limb, sorry, Gimpy, like you would send them upstate. They would not be a part of the family because the family was too worried about shame.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you were crazy, I'm always fascinated by the definition of crazy and like what makes somebody crazy. What's the behavior that puts them on the outskirts? Because you look at someone like Britney Spears, who's been in the media. She does post very odd videos. Is it because her hair looks unkept? And is it because we've seen her life spiral that we just go to her being crazy?
Right.
Or because we know plenty of outspoken people. Think of Kanye.
Yeah.
Because what he's outspoken about puts him on the outskirts.
Yeah. You don't agree with what he says, and it sounds weird.
But that doesn't make him crazy. He's just got he sees things in a different light. Take serial killers. Right? I think we can all agree that if you want to kill people over and over again, you're a madman.
Yes.
But if you think you're doing God's work,
Exactly.
or your higher power's work, why is it we go, well, no one's talking to the guy who's killing all the prostitutes. God isn't talking to him. He's talking to the guy with the white thing on his neck.
Right. Well, what about the guy that rubs poop on his face? Well, he just sees things differently. Yeah?
But we let singers drink bodily fluids animal fluids
Right.
that we were like, ugh.
Right. Because it's not normal to us.
Yeah. What was the one that Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie did when they were married? They did something with each other's blood, didn't
They
they?
put in like a necklace, didn't they?
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing special.
But if I remember right, that wasn't even really,
Yeah,
they were just catering to they were trolling before trolling was trolling.
sure.
I forget who the comedian is, but he has got this bit like we're all just standing in a psych hospital,
Yeah.
and staring out the window, going derp 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 derp.
Very well possible, especially if we're all in a simulation.
We'll get to it Thursday.
Right.
I'm working on it.
All right.
Oh, I'm gonna blow. You thought this blew your mind, Lindsay? I dropped a bomb yesterday. I'm confident Gimpy thought about it multiple times.
I totally forgot, actually, after that segment.
That doesn't surprise me, actually.
It wasn't important enough.
Don't I know it?
Yeah. I did hold on to it till the end for what you learned, but after that.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's Morning Show. The Big Bad.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. Toll free 833-460-5663. That's the phone number because it's time to play a game. We've got tickets to see Linkin Park and tickets for Smoking Guns. Club seats for Linkin Park on Monday. VIP tickets for Smoking Guns. That is happening Saturday. Smoking Guns, an MMA boxing event between firefighters and police officers, all to collect money for the Special Olympics of Oklahoma and the Oklahoma Firefighters Burn Camp. It's a great night. Charity, fun, laughing, excitement, brotherhood, camaraderie. It's a good time. And it's happening on Saturday at the BOK Center. Get your tickets for each one of those at BOKCenter.com. We're playing Sing Sing. Current record is...
Well, you're leading this one with 6. I have 5, and Lindsay has 1.
Last week's winner.
That be you.
So Gimpy and Lindsay at 918-460-KMOD. Call up, decide who's going to be the clue giver. Who gets the most right is going to win those tickets to Linkin Park and to Smoking Guns. 833-460-5663. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
John.
John, how are you today?
Oh, good.
Good, John. What category do you want? I'm sorry, who do you want to give clues, Lindsay or Gimpy?
Gimpy.
Come on.
John, 60 seconds are on the clock. Timer starts after the first clue. Here we go.
Okay. Sitting on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, such a fine sight to see. It's a band from the 70s named after...
Leonard Skinner?
No, named
Alfred
after
Bird.
birds. No, the band is named
Birds.
after birds. What's...
The Crows.
No, Jesus Christ. What's the opposite of hard?
Soft.
No, like if this, me giving you clues right
Easy.
now is really hard.
Easy.
Okay. What is the opposite of give?
Take.
There you go.
Take it easy.
There you go. Jesus Christ. Okay, so this is from the Queen of Pop, and this is what you do when you put your hands together and talk to God.
Pray.
Yes. That is part of it. That's part of the last one here. Some Valley girls would be like blank as if.
Whatever.
Whatever. Exactly, John. Exactly. Oh, when you have something on Facebook and you
Time. One is what you got, John. Now,
Oh,
people
man.
well, listen, some people have won with one before. So hang on the line. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Chad.
I'm sorry. What is your name?
Chad.
Chad. You and turn your radio down. You and Lindsay have to beat one. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Rob Van Winkle sang this song, and it sounds like Under Pressure by Queen.
Ice, baby.
Yes. This is Jay-Z's wife. And
Yeah.
if you are taken, then you're not one of these. If you have a significant other, then you're not a
Single lady.
yes, plural.
Single ladies.
Yes. This is the artist from Minnesota, loved the color purple, and singing about a specific bird when it weeps. Oh, I said
When doves cry.
I said when. Yeah. This is the song girl we were talking about earlier. She went nuts, and this was a
Oops, I did it again.
another song by her. When you're an infant, you are considered. All right.
Time. Congratulations, man. You're going to get those tickets to see Smoking Guns on Saturday and then Linkin Park on Monday. Hang on the line so Gimpy can get your info, okay?
Sweet, thank you.
Good job, Chad.
John, I'm sorry, one was just not enough today.
All right.
All right, buddy. See you later.
Betcha Losers.
Gimpy, this is the one she actually accidentally said part of the title.
Yeah, this is that weird guy, lives in Minnesota, loves purple. Song about birds that, aren't happy. tears rolling down from their little birdie faces.
What's the name of his compound in Minnesota? Yeah, okay.
His compound in Minnesota?
No, it's got a special name.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Have you seen that thing on TikTok where they take people that died and then age them to what they look like today?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they're okay, a lot of times they're not, but yeah, they did one of Prince.
Yeah, he just celebrated his death anniversary yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Death anniversary, right?
Yeah.
And then this is the one she ended on, Gimpy.
Yeah, I think she's on the right track. Crazy Lady Shaved Her Head. Pop singer from the early 2000s, late 90s. Another word for an infant. Okay. And then the number before 2. Yeah. And then a clock tells what?
Great.
Yeah.
And then this one, she sang the Virgin song Holiday, and this is Life is a Mystery. The music video was in a church. She had the crucifix.
I always get this song confused with Papa Don't Preach. I get the video confused as well.
Yeah. Another
Evita.
great one.
Oh, yeah.
Evita.
Yeah.
Body of Evidence, League of Their Own.
Right. Madonna, Like a Prayer.
All right, the record now.
Keeps you with 6, keeps me with 5, moves Lindsay to 2.
Tulsa's morning show continues next. The Big Mad Morning Show on Tulsa.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. Coming up, listener emails. Need advice? We can help you. Get your email to us, show at KMOD.com. Let's see what Gimpy has in his 4x4.
Well, Gordon says here that Instagram is cracking down on teens lying about their age. Some sons of bitches.
How?
Well, let me tell you, Lindsay, Instagram is using artificial intelligence in order to crack down on teens lying about their age.
That's always worked out well.
Its parent company, Meta, announced yesterday that it's currently in the testing phase in the U.S. The software is designed to find accounts that are believed to be teenage profiles, which would then put them into the teen account settings. The tech giant says that it's been using AI to verify ages for a while, but this is the first time this specific method is being used. We'll see if it works.
I mean, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I guess you could make an argument that are parents not involved?
Yeah.
Probably not. Or they let them do it anyway. I want a Facebook, but you're not old enough. Oh, come on, I want to do it. Fine. And they set them up and make them older than what they are. And then when the birthdays come around on Facebook, you're like, congratulations, happy birthday, you're 30, when you know you're only,
Right.
18 or whatever.
My son asked for one when he turned 13, and I said no. Now that he does have a Facebook account at 14, and I'm friends with him.
What was different between 13 and 14 that made you feel more comfortable?
Nothing much
About
was
4
different.
little hairs.
Right. Nothing much. I just felt like, nah, I still just don't want you to have it.
But he got
And
one
then
anyway.
A year later, he was allowed to, according to Meta or whatever, the rules are 13. But then his friends were on there, and he's like, but my friends are on there, and I want to be able to keep in contact with them that way as well, and load up pictures and have football reels and things like that. So, yeah, and I'm friends with him, so I can see what he posts. And
That he lets you see.
Right,
Yeah,
because you
right.
can't hide things from people.
No, right.
Absolutely not. My children, well, when they're 18, they can do whatever they want.
What else we got here? The FTC sues Uber over Uber One subscriptions. The agency accuses the ride-sharing and delivery company of deceptive billing practices tied to Uber One subscriptions. The FTC's lawsuit alleges Uber One doesn't give subscribers a simple way to cancel their membership and charges them without their consent. FTC Chairman Andrew Ferguson says that Americans are tired of getting signed up for unwanted subscriptions that seem impossible to cancel.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Yeah.
Right.
He adds the Trump-Vance FTC is fighting back on the behalf of the American people.
It takes 12 steps to cancel that program.
Really? That's too much.
No,
it should take one.
It should take one.
That's it. Click of a button. Boom.
I'll accept 2.
Okay.
I want to cancel. Are you sure?
Right,
Yes.
Yes. That's all it really
It
needs.
should all at 12 is wild.
That's what it should be for anything that you want to unsubscribe to. But,
Yes.
they bury it underneath all the jive, and that's how you end up with this.
I want to quit the bank.
Right. What else we got here? Pope election to begin soon. The College of Cardinals will soon hold several meetings.
That sounded weird, actually, when you said it.
College of Cardinals?
No, Pope election. Almost like a band name. And if you hung on the O a little long,
Pope election.
Pope election.
Prophylactic. Yeah. The College Cardinals will soon hold several meetings at the Vatican to start the process of selecting a new pope. They will prep for the upcoming papal election called a conclave. 15 to 20 days after the Pope's death, depending on how long it takes for all the Cardinals to arrive in the Vatican City. Sorry, the flight was late.
Babe, I'm sorry. I got to go.
Right.
The Pope died.
I have to get to the Vatican right now.
I know. They're Cardinals. They don't have one. I get it. It was a joke.
Sorry, little boy. I got to go.
Meanwhile, the movie Conclave debuted on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Which I implore everyone to watch.
Yeah, I had seen the commercials. I'm like, that looks kind of interesting. And, well, how about timing?
Smart.
You're right.
They probably had it put on for later. He dies. You're like, bam, hit it, man.
Or
Let's go.
they killed him to push their movie. Just saying.
Listen, all I know is something big was supposed to happen on Sunday. And something big happened on early Monday morning.
Right.
I'm sure it was Sunday somewhere.
So it depends on how long it takes them to get to the Vatican. Conclaves are held in the Sistine Chapel and have historically lasted an average of 4 days. The candidate needs to be 2/3 majority to become the Pope. The ballots used in the last round are burnt and used to create smoke signals. Black smoke means, there is no election, and the white smoke means we got one. All right, and last...
Do they put a tablet in there? They got to put something in there, right? Like, don't put the wrong one in. Like,
Right.
I've seen those baby unveilings,
Right.
gender reveal parties.
Right.
Go wrong.
Anything could happen. You're like, damn it. It's supposed to... comes out like red or something.
Yeah, they should totally troll us with like
A
pink.
pink one, yeah.
And be like, just kidding.
It's a girl. Oh.
Female Pope?
Lastly here, Rogers County hosts their annual Trash Off event as part of the Keep Oklahoma Beautiful program. Rogers County's hosting their annual Trash Off event for residents on Thursday, April 24th through Saturday the 26th. The event will take place over 3 days at several different locations in Rogers County. The Trash Off event is for residents only. So if you don't live in Rogers County, don't be dumping your trash over here. Businesses and enterprises are asked to not bring their trash. Those living in Rogers County will be responsible for unloading their own trash. This event is not for any household hazardous waste. The event locations accept furniture, mattresses, carpeting, televisions, metal, and appliances that have had their refrigerant or CFCs removed.
On Easter Sunday, a Jane Doe lawsuit against NFL Hall of Famer and broadcaster Shannon Sharpe was filed, asking for $50 million over claims of sexual assault. In the suit, the anonymous plaintiff claims she was brutally sexually assaulted by Sharpe several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. Jane Doe claims she met Sharpe in a gym in LA in 2023, where he told her he would buy her fake boobies if she won a weight loss competition with him. That was allegedly followed by Sharpe pursuing her relentlessly, texting, calling, and demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. Eventually, she says, they got into a consensual relationship, which she describes in the suit as controlling and verbally abusive, and that Sharpe demanded complete control of her time and body. At one point, she says there was an argument that terrified her, and there was a gun visible in the room. She allegedly tried to text friends her location and said Sharpe threatened to kill her if she ever did that again. The relationship continued. However, she says the first instance of assault happened in October of 2024, a second a few weeks later. Jane Doe is represented by Tony Busby, the same attorney that rounded up all the accusers who eventually filed lawsuits against Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. And as of now, there's been no response to the suit from Sharpe or his legal team.
This is an excellent time to remind you that a year ago, almost a year ago, not even a year ago, I guess maybe 6 months ago, he put out a video on Instagram of him banging some girl.
Yeah.
But he never owned up to it.
Right.
It was very uncomfortable to watch that 56-year-old man bang somebody. Or to hear, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning... Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Hey, let's have lunch together. Once a month, I'm going to hit the road in our new Chevy Blazer EV, and I will bring lunch to you and your coworkers. All you got to do is sign up to win right now. KMOD.com. Good luck.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Oh, good morning. If you didn't score those tickets to Smoking Guns this morning, well, that's okay. You can still get them. The fights are going down Saturday at the BOK Center. Go to BOKCenter.com and get your ticket.
All right, time for listener emails. You can always email us, show@KMOD.com. We read an email on the air, and then you guys get to give advice. BMMS and whatever that advice is to the phone number 82945. This email says, I'm trying to figure out how to meet people, but I'm broke. It's not like I'm lazy or not trying. Money's just tight. I'm paying off old debt. Rent's high. I've had to pick up extra shifts just to stay above water. Dating feels impossible. Everything costs a lot of money. Drinks, dinner, gas. Even the app wants a subscription. I feel like a lot of women only go for guys with money. The first questions are always about what do you do and what car do you drive? Feels like if I can't afford a certain lifestyle, I don't get a shot. How should I meet people? How do you meet people when you don't have anything to offer but yourself? Oh, God. How do you stay confident when you feel like you don't add up to the others? I'm loyal, I listen, I care, but none of that fits on a dating profile. I just don't know how to date when you're broke. I have said it before. I will say it again. I can't imagine what it's like to date. The idea of it terrifies me. I'm happily married, but if it went south, I'd figure out how to be happy. Because there's no way I'm dating. That just sounds so challenging.
Yeah. Not all of the dating apps you have to pay for, do you?
None of them you have to pay for. They have premium subscriptions.
What does that get you? Do you know?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't go with the premium stuff. No way. I'm a cheap ass. Come on now.
Right.
Like, do you get to see more pictures?
I think it's unlimited, passes, right? Because, some of them, most of them, you can only swipe left or pass on this person X amount of times. Or swipe on somebody. That's what it is, unlimited swipes. It's like, all right, you're going to pay for it. You can swipe as many as you want, left or right.
This says in Bumble, you get to see, the premium gets you get to see who's liked you first. You find exactly what you're looking for with unlimited advanced filters. Mm-hmm. You get to swipe in other locations with, travel mode.
Yeah. I want to be in Boston. Who's there wants to bang?
Vacation D. You get to backtrack on accidental left swipes, and you get a limited extends for when you need more time to message a new match.
Okay.
So I think you're right. It don't sound like you need it.
No, you don't really. You could be just fine with the free stuff, But, hey, if you want to pay the $14.99 a month or whatever the hell it is, yeah, go for it.
This says, oh, yes, I've met that girl. Stay away from that girl. Another one. If one of the first questions is what kind of car you drive, she probably a gold digger anyway. I don't know. Small talk be small talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe she wants to make sure you're not driving a beater. Like, it will get you. If I go out on a date with you, is the car going to break down on the way to wherever? You know what I mean? I think that makes sense. Not all of them are like, oh, you drive a Ferrari or whatever.
I went on a date like that. The car broke down while we were on the date. We had to get out and push it through the intersection.
You pushed it or he pushed it?
We both did.
You got broad shoulders. Get back there and put it.
Who steered?
He did.
Then he wasn't pushing.
Okay.
He was barely pushing.
That's like three people holding, moving a couch.
One of you
One
ain't
of them
helping.
ain't doing nothing, right?
In the moment, though, it was like, okay, let's get this out of the intersection. And I actually thought it was kind of funny. And we actually went on more dates.
The fact that he made you push while he steered says volumes, I think. I think, the woman, sit, I'm sure you can handle it. I'm sure you can push a car. This isn't about that. This is just more of this is my broke down POS.
Right.
You go ahead and steer. I'll get back there and push.
And it may have been like, no, you sit tight. I'll get this. And I was probably, no, let's get this. We are in the middle of a busy intersection and your car just broke
I believe
down.
that about you, that you'd be like, no, let me help push.
Yes, let me.
He probably said, no.
Yeah. And
Or tried and didn't get
No, he
anywhere.
said, no, please stay seated.
right.
Yeah. I maybe that's also, maybe asking what kind of car you drive is a placeholder to make sure you're not a robot. Maybe to make sure you can drive.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Who knows? I just don't think when someone goes, what kind of car you drive, they automatically are hoping you're loaded.
Right.
Right. If it's followed up with how much money do you make, yeah, that's probably a good chance. That's what she's in it for.
And I have a hunch that dating population knows that people can be car poor.
Right.
That you can have a nice car and be poor.
Yes.
Because you spent all your money on your ride.
Yes, or you're in over your head. This says without subscription, no communication with others.
That's a bunch of crap.
It says, I recently had to start dating again. I've had the most success with Facebook Matchmaker. No cost, and have had the most responses.
True statement.
What do you mean?
Oh, that's what I used. That's what I used. And it goes based off of like your friends of your friends, people you know. It's like, oh, well, you know Corbin. Well, Corbin knows, Sally over here.
Interesting.
Sally over here, maybe you guys should link up and talk or whatever. Oh, okay. Yeah.
This text says, you don't need anything to offer other than yourself, bud. You may not have money, but at least your bills are paid. Get out, walk the grocery stores or Walmart type of places. Seems like nobody actually physically meets anyone anymore in public spaces. Just be yourself and be honest. Real women are looking for a companion, not a Corvette buddy. It's free to walk around in public. Okay, old man.
Hey, you go to church and meet women there.
Yeah, I'm sure your convertible Corvette's awesome. Nobody just... Dude, if you're in the grocery store and you walk me, you're like, hey.
Am I on Candid Kim?
You're going to get maced.
Seems like good. You very well could. Because there's been too many creepers out there that's ruined it for everybody else.
What does that mean, like walk the grocery store? Like to force a meeting?
Right.
To accost a female while they're buying their groceries?
Pace up and down the tampon aisle.
And what do you
I saw you getting some Dannon. And I noticed you didn't buy any tampons.
Right.
You want a date? How do you do that? That is the craziest thing. To say that.
I see you like eating too.
Right.
I notice you push a cart too.
Right.
It's the most awkward and archaic way to think that just because it worked for like one person
Right.
doesn't mean it works for others.
Yeah, a lot of people when they're in the grocery store, they probably don't want to be bothered. I'm getting my groceries, while trying to listen to a podcast or whatever. It's like, come on.
I see you got bread. Is that good bread?
like to make sandwiches?
You ever had French toast for breakfast?
Right. If you take some eggs and some milk and some cinnamon.
My mama used to make... There's no good way to approach that.
No.
You want to envision like something you saw on TV or a movie. That's just not reality.
Right. You bump into them, groceries spill all over
Your
the
carts
floor. You help them
bang
pick it
at
up.
at the end of the aisle. Oh, hey. Oh, you're so cute.
So sorry. Would you like to go out sometime? No.
Reasonable answer. Church is still free and usually have lots of activities for singles. Nuclear answer. Get yourself a sugar mama. She may not be exactly what you're looking for right now, but you can ride that for a while, save some cash, and move on to a newer model in a year or two. Yeah, church has, a lot of places do stuff for singles.
Absolutely.
I know bars that do stuff for their single audience. So any place you like to hang out,
Right.
church or bar or whatever that is, Pokemon group, whatever.
I didn't even think about that. Pokemon Go is still huge, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure that there's places out there, groups that get together, you know? Maybe singles, maybe not, but you could start with the Pokemon group. Y'all get together, go to the park, hang out. This is my advice. It made sense. The light bulb goes off, right? And then you could simply meet some chunky woman there who likes to, catch Pokemon.
There's a page on TikTok that is so fun to watch. It's like the Bismarck's Soul Club or something like that.
Okay.
And it is a group of people younger than me dancing to like classic soul music.
Okay.
Sounds like a great time.
And they're just cutting a rug, right? Having a good old time. Not really dancing with each other, but dancing by themselves and just feeling the music.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And I always watch it because I'm just fascinated by the individuals in the group. If that's your jam, find someone who's also into it. It's the easiest way to bring the gate down.
Right. You already got something in common besides buying groceries.
Yes, and breathing, and your carbon molecules all stacked.
Right.
I talk to everyone in public, and I'm only 39. Funny that it worked for 100 years, worked for one person. Wonder how many people met before the internet. Yes, we also used to bang rocks together for fire. Just because that's the way it used to work doesn't mean that's the way it works now. And if you want to meet listen, you can talk to all the people you want in public you want. That's fine. Not everybody likes that. A lot of people don't. I get in the elevator and you have to have some small talk conversation you don't want to have. I'm always grateful when I go down the elevator with Gimpy. He'll handle that for me.
That's right. I
Right.
got you covered. I'll make them feel uncomfortable.
I don't need to say hi to everybody. That feels like you think you're the main character.
Maybe join a cosplay or find a furry group.
If that's your thing,
All right. You could unlock a kink you never knew you had.
get a bike and stop being a crybaby.
Yeah.
I don't know how those two are connected. I know plenty of people that own bikes that cry.
Yeah, but how many crybabies do you know? Little babies.
At least
that own
two.
bikes.
I've got eggs. Want to hook up? I think that's funny. And somebody might find that interesting as well. But the idea that you're broke and you want a certain individual. This text says, this email says, I'm trying to figure out how to meet people, but I'm broke. It's not like I'm lazy or not trying. Money's tight because I'm paying off old debt, rent's high, and I've had to pick up extra shifts just to stay above water. Dating feels impossible right now. It feels like everything costs money. Drinks, dinner, gas. Just to get somewhere, even apps want a subscription to actually get seen. I feel like a lot of women only go for guys with money. First questions are always about what car do you drive, what do you do, or where you live. It feels like if I can't afford a certain lifestyle, I don't get a shot. How do you meet people when you don't have anything to offer but yourself? How do you stay confident when you feel like you don't measure up to what the world expects from you? I just don't know how to date when you're broke. Lindsay.
It sounds to me like he doesn't need to be dating at all right now. He's working on himself. He doesn't have time. He's picking up extra shifts. So when he says, all I have is to offer myself, you really don't even have that. Because you're just going to end up, even if you meet someone right now, you're going to end up pissing her off because you're working all these extra shifts, money is tight. So your time is being used up with work right now and paying off debts and things like that. You're working on you right now, and it doesn't seem like that is where you want it to be. So in order for you to be happy with someone else, you have to be happy in your own life first. And it doesn't sound like is right there. And women love a confident guy, and he just doesn't sound very confident right now in any situation. So maybe get your finances under control and where you want them to be, where you might have some more money. And if so you can afford to go to the bars and meet someone organically or to a public place, maybe have a friend introduce you to someone. I'm sure you got some friends that like to play matchmaker, maybe even buddies that you spend so much time with at work. But right now, it sounds like you're working on you, and I would continue doing that.
Gimpy.
You know what I think? I think he's shooting a little too high, going for out of his league. Gets on the dating apps and sees these smoke shows, and I like that one. I like that one. The guy's probably a troll, okay? And obviously he doesn't have the confidence that it takes to get one of those. How about lowering your bar a little bit? You ever think about that? Because the same hot chicks that are on, for every hot chick that's on those apps, you've got a bahooga wolf just as well, all right? So maybe stop shooting so high. Lower the bar a little bit. There's plenty of free stuff to do around town. You don't have to have money. The Gathering place is very nice, and it's a great date-worthy place just to go walk around, talk, hang out, whatever. Disc golf is free, and you're out in a park, and you're walking around, you're doing stuff like that. Just walking around downtown and people watching is free. You don't have to have money, all right? Well, what if I want to take her someplace to eat? Okay, fine, fantastic. You know what? Most places have like a value menu of sorts, okay? And if the chick really likes you, then she ain't going to give a damn about a McChicken, okay? It's the time that you're spending together. I think, honestly, this person is shooting way too high, and he needs to lower his standards a little bit, and then kind of just go from there. Or you just stop in general, and when it's going to happen regardless.
Just airdrop pictures of your penis to everybody. And whoever takes the bait, there you go.
There's your winner.
Right. That's how you get Muscoozy.
Yeah.
Is this you?
I think what you guys are saying are all accurate. I also think you don't like yourself. I don't think you like yourself. So why would anybody want to like you if you don't even like yourself? You don't like that you're paying bills. You don't like your job. You seem like the kind of guy that if a girl doesn't talk to you, you go, bitch.
Right.
I bet you she smells funny.
So you just got to start working on your stuff. Just do stuff you like and let everything happen. You have no control over that stuff. If you go, I want to date a hot girl, start doing the things you think you need to do to date a hot girl. Not just go, why isn't it happening?
Right, like take a shower, clean up the acne, stuff like that.
You can work hard and not have a lot of money and find somebody that's awesome.
Right.
But you don't like you. That's the problem. Also, don't let your friends set you up.
Why not?
Somebody's going to get mad.
In case it goes south,
yes.
Then it goes against your friend, maybe. Why'd you hook me up with that psycho bitch?
Let me paint a scenario. They set you up with somebody. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work out. Everything's cordial. It wasn't weird. I'm going to give you the least obvious scenario, like opposite of what Gimpy's painting. And it just didn't work out. And everybody's like, it's all good. Fast forward, you find somebody you're happy with. This person comes around and they're like, what do you mean you used to date Carol? And I was like, one day. Why did you date Carol? I don't want none of that smoke. Have to explain all that stuff. But you got to like you, man, because I don't think that's what's happening. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
The Big Mad Morning Show.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 833-460-KMOD. Toll free is the phone number. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. All right, listener emails. You can always email us, show@kmod.com. Son says, I think my husband might be addicted to pills. I don't know what to do. A year ago, he hurt his back at work and was prescribed pain meds. Since then, he's changed. He refills his prescriptions too often, disappears into the garage, sometimes nods off in the middle of the day. I found empty pill bottles hidden in strange places, like under the sink, in the car. When I bring it up, he gets defensive, says I don't trust him. He's missing work now, too. He says he's sick or tired, but he looks off, pale, spaced out. Our daughter is starting to notice that he's not around much. I want to help him, but I don't know how to talk to him without him shutting down. Part of me is wondering if trying to help is even worth it. How do you get someone help when they don't think they need it? Or is it better to just leave before it gets worse? It's all right. Can people come up with some answers? Don't get choked up about it.
It's a very sensitive topic for me. It gets me choked up sometimes.
Yeah.
That and my girlfriend's cookies. They're delicious.
Sure. Yeah. Finding out there's a problem, potential problem in your house is dangerous. And you think you got to do something.
Right. And I wonder how they're getting the prescription refilled more frequently than necessary, when I thought that has been, looked upon so hardcore lately.
Well, let me tell you a little story, Lindsay. I recently had surgery, and where I get my prescription filled, the nurse was like, hey, we'll send the prescription there, but they're not going to let you get the number of pills we're prescribing.
Okay.
So you're going to need to find another place that will give you the number we think you need.
Right. And I'm sure not all doctors are on the up and up.
I'm not saying that what they were doing was nefarious. I'm just saying there's ways around obstacles. And just because he's getting them filled, or she thinks he's getting them filled, doesn't mean he's doing it legally.
Right.
True. You may know a guy who knows a guy. And then just putting them in one of the empty bottles.
Maybe getting it filled when he can. Yeah, I'm sure there's a doctor who's down on his luck that would gladly write a script and jeopardize his whole career. This text, he's addicted. I was him. I've been on opiates hardcore in my life. IV user, and it sounds like she hit the nail on the head. Okay. How do you do opiates intravenously?
Melt them down with a spoon and some water and a needle.
So the pill, burn it up.
Same way you would, with meth and heroin.
Why?
Hits you harder, faster. Go straight to your bloodstream.
So you're impatient too. Okay.
Pretty much, basically.
This text, that's a tough deal. There are a lot of places that can help that. My spouse had to go get help 8 years ago. Best thing that ever happened. But the first step is him admitting that he has a problem. Don't abandon him yet. Everyone I've helped through a program needed someone behind them giving him a push.
Oof. Right, because not everybody is going to be like, yes, all right, I know I have a problem. I'm going to handle this on my own. There's a bit of shame that goes with it. There's the denial. No, I don't have a problem. I can quit anytime I want, sort of thing.
Sure. I think I have issue with the giving them a push person. I don't know if that's your job in life.
Well, if you love somebody, Corbin, you will help them
You'll
out
push them to do
regardless.
something they don't want to do. Okay.
Right.
Being supportive and giving a push aren't the same thing.
Right.
Right?
But I think what you're saying is you're forcing them to do something that they don't want to do, and nobody really reacts kindly to that sort of thing.
No, but I think when they admit that they do have a problem, it's easier for them to get help with their problem.
But them admitting they have a problem doesn't mean you get permission to push
No,
and force them.
right. That is true.
You know what always
They have
works?
to want it.
Ultimatums.
Right.
That always works every time.
Have a kid.
Right.
Have you considered cannabis as an alternative? It doesn't say, but that's definitely a possible solution for someone who thinks their partner is addicted to pills.
Right. You just be addicted to pot instead.
And I think with this email, this isn't a question of, I mean, the emailer's sending enough things to go, for me to go, yeah, this person is definitely reliant on something. I don't know if I'm ready to jump to addicted.
Right. Dependent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are definitely some boxes of stereotypical things that are getting checked. But I think sometimes when somebody's in a rut, we're quick to go, they're addicted.
Right.
I feel like you've got to leave that to someone who knows what they're doing
Yeah.
and not just jump in. And like the person who texted in, it says that everyone they've helped implies there's a lot of people they've done this with. Unless you're a rehab specialist or a rehab counselor, there shouldn't be in everyone.
Yeah, in their circle, though, it could be everyone. It could be everyone. Addictive parents, siblings, because that's what they're grown up to. That's what they're used to. Maybe this person was as well, but they, realize this isn't the life for me. Their friends are that way just because that's the only thing that they've ever known. I could see how this person and their, everyone in their circle, not everyone on the planet, but everyone in their circle has been addicted or whatever.
Yeah, there's some codependency things that start kicking up when you're involved in a lot of that.
Right.
Ask him if he would rather have his family or the pills. Another one. Run, bitch, run. If they've advanced enough in their addiction to hide empty bottles, then you need to run.
Do you, though? Do you really need to run just because, they've advanced to hiding empty bottles? I don't think you do. Not if you really want it to work out.
I think run is the wrong term to use.
Right.
Look out for yourself.
Right.
Run implies that, like, F you, I'm out of here.
Right, exactly.
Rather than looking out for yourself is, I don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
He's addicted, been there, recovered, and still struggle. The chains of addiction are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. Page 13 of the book.
Right, I was about to say. Get out of the pamphlet? Yeah.
I have known plenty of people that have been addicted, and that statement of it isn't easy is, they all say that in different ways. Some use the chains of addiction are too light, and others say this is hard.
Yeah.
It's sad. Listener email from somebody who thinks their husband might be addicted to pills. About a year ago, he hurt his back, was prescribed pain meds. Since then, he's changed. He refills prescriptions too often, disappears into the garage, sometimes nods off in the middle of the day. I found empty pill bottles hidden in strange places under the sink in the car. His gym bag, when I bring it up, he gets defensive or says, I don't trust him. He's missing work now, says he's sick or tired. But he looks off, pale, spaced out. Our daughter is starting to notice he's not around much. I want to help him, but I don't know how to talk to him without him shutting down. And part of me is wondering if trying to help is even worth it. How do you get someone help when they don't think they need it? Or is it better to just leave before it gets worse? Lindsay.
This is tough. I don't know. I would say a professional. She would have to seek help from a professional drug counselor, but he would have to be willing to speak to someone too. Maybe an intervention, but that is also going to be really hard. Getting more family members involved or friends, maybe reaching out to a coworker or someone else that they're close to, that her husband's close to. But an intervention might be the way if they can't see that they have a problem. And if she wants to stay in the relationship, then I feel that that's probably the best way to go, is an intervention.
Gimpy.
Interventions, counseling, general talking, none of that's going to do any good. The person themselves, in this case the husband, has to be the one to want to do it. You can talk to them till you're blue in the face. Hey, I am finding these empty bottles. You're worrying me. Blah, blah, blah. But until he gets to that point to where it's like, oh, man, this is what I've been doing has not been anything good at all whatsoever. Nothing good has come out of what I've been doing. I lost my wife. I lost my kids. I lost my house. I lost my job. I lost my friends. I lost this. I lost that, and the other. I would suggest maybe, I mean, you can talk to him. Hey, what's going on here? Everything all right? He's going to shut down. It's unpopular opinion. You're probably not going to like it, but you will probably end up having to leave in order for him to see the light and to see what he's doing has caused. If any of that makes sense at all whatsoever. It's one of those, oh, damn. Okay, well, and then he'll have to make a decision then, even then. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is there's nothing you could do. There's nothing you could do for that person that's going to make them straighten up, all right? Because even if you do leave, he has to make that decision of, okay, well, I can clean up, get my S together, and then try to get my family back, or they'll just keep on going down the path that they're already on. Either way, the person themselves that's having the issues is the one that's going to have to figure it out. There's nothing you on the outside can do.
This text is interesting. She's right. He is hooked, but until he is ready, there's nothing she can do about it except watch it get worse before it gets better and stock up on some Narcan. It's not your job to save him. You could argue having Narcan around would save his life should he OD.
Yeah.
But you could also argue that having Narcan around saves him from his consequences. Mm-hmm. He's not a medical personnel, not emergency personnel. Not a doctor. You're not a doctor. None of those things where that would be. I get why. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm not saying it's not a good thing. His addiction's none of your business. Decide what your boundaries are, what you'll tolerate, what you won't. Hey, you got to go to work 5 days a week to help support this family because I'm not working. And if you're not, I can't be with you. Hey, you can't. The only thing that I noticed that to me is, like, you can't go, in my opinion, you can't go, you can only have one pill a day and I'll monitor them. That is not, that's not a boundary. That's a rule for an adult who's an adult. You got to decide what you'll tolerate. Worry about your side of the fence and hold him accountable. And don't be afraid to move your boundaries should you need to, but his addiction's none of your business. It is not your job. I think we sometimes confuse, like, I love this person, so it's my job to get them sober.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're drowning, and you don't know how to swim.
Right.
And so they'll pull you under. Maybe not with pills, but there'll be another thing that will cause you problems. Mm-hmm. And it sucks, and I'm sorry. That person's suffering for whatever reason, and now they're throwing you a ticket on the crazy train, and you're thinking about taking it. Yeah. That's sad. I'm sorry. Life comes at you fast, man. Mm-hmm. I know so many people that have been living great lives, and they're thinking they're so happy, and then the next minute they find out, no, they're not. The other person isn't happy.
Right.
And they show that in many different ways. Divorce, cheating, addiction of some sort, and you had no idea. Now your life's upside down.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same answer as the first one. You got to love yourself more than you love the other person. And you got to love yourself and go, listen, I'm worth this. I'm not going to be in a relationship where this is happening. You know how much an interventionist costs? It's like a couple grand.
Right.
You know how much rehab is?
Couple grand.
Try 10, 20, depending on where you go.
Right.
That's a lot. Not saying nobody's worth it, but suddenly it's like, well, how much for the vet thing?
Well, here's what you do. You take a big chain, you wrap it around his waist, and then you chain him to a radiator in your living room. It worked on Black Snake Moan.
It definitely did for that movie. You can want them sober, but if they don't want to be sober, then you're wasting your time. Addicts are great liars. That's not me. That's a text that came in. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
You're listening to the Big Mad Morning Show.
morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. Toll free 833-460-KMOD. Coming up to tell the truth. Your chance to get to know the show better. Ask any question you want.
The Eagles are locking down their Super Bowl winning center. The team extended Cam Jurgens on Monday to a 4-year deal worth nearly $70 million. The contract includes almost $40 million guaranteed. Jurgens was entering the last year of his rookie contract and is now the second highest paid center in the league behind the Chiefs center, Creed Humphrey. A star player on the Eagles is getting his stolen car back. A.J. Brown posted on social media that someone took his car in a matter of minutes early Monday morning. Police say the vehicle was eventually recovered in Camden, New Jersey, and one person was in custody. The 3-time Pro Bowler joins a long list of athletes that have been targeted for thefts and home break-ins over the past year. And Miami men's basketball is adding a key player. Shelton Henderson announced on Monday that he's transferring to the school. The small forward decommitted from Duke last week. Henderson is the 30th ranked prospect in the ESPN 100 and follows former Blue Devils assistant Jai Lucas, who was hired last month as Miami's new head coach. The senior is now the second top 50 recruit for the Hurricanes. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of Groundworks Tulsa. More of the
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. Toll free 833-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Happy 31st porn star birthday to Taylor Gunner. You can watch this Midwestern minx in Horny Hostel, Tickle Monster, and Oiled and Spoiled at the Garage. She's a nerd who loves to have a good time.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Oh, good morning, Corbin. There's still plenty of chances for you to get your tickets to Smoking Guns this Saturday at the BOK Center. Watch the police fight the firefighters and the firefighters fight the police, all to raise money for charity. Again, get your tickets at bokcenter.com.
Time to tell the truth. This is your opportunity to ask anything you want. Just remember, keep it clean. No bodily fluids, nothing sexual, and don't forget, we can and will pass on a question. Let's open up the phone lines. Here's Corbin and the gang with all the truth you're gonna need.
833-460-KMOD is the phone number. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Is it okay to open food and eat it in the grocery store before you pay for it? Is it, whether it's you or your kids or whatever, is it okay to open food and eat it before you pay for it in the grocery store?
Yes,
Say more.
because you're going, well, I've had toddlers in the grocery store with me, and they can be a major pain in the ass. So I want them quiet while I do my grocery shopping. So I have absolutely 100% grabbed like the popcorn chicken that you get from the deli. I have absolutely gotten that and given it to them and just saved the cup and purchased it afterwards. It's already got the price on there. So, sure. I think that's fine. I've even tasted a grape. I've eaten a grape just to make sure that they're sweet enough to purchase.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, no. But absolutely, I think as long as you are saving the package and it's not, because there's really anything that you get from the deli or whatever, they put the price tag on there. They weighed it and everything. So if you've got the container, sure.
What do you do if you taste a grape and it's not up to your liking? Do you put the entire bag back? Or just leave?
I mean, I just pick one and eat it.
Exactly.
Right?
Pick
You've already
one.
had your hands all in there. Yeah.
I mean, I'm grabbing one grape. I'm not rubbing it on my genitals.
Right. And I would hope that when you get your produce home, you're washing it anyways.
A lot of people don't.
I know.
Gimpy, what about you? Is it okay to open food and eat it before you pay for it in the grocery store?
Yeah, if you're an honest person. For sure. Because Lindsay's got a great point, and I've done the same thing, you know? But not everybody's honest. There's a lot of people that would just put that empty container back on a different shelf down a different aisle somewhere and not pay for it at all. So, yeah, if you're an honest person, have at it. But I don't think you should. I think you should wait.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's kind of stealing.
Right. You haven't paid for it yet.
I'm sure anybody who's stolen something has said, I'm going to pay for it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
Yeah.
The point you're making, I totally see, but you can't contain yourself for another 20 minutes?
Famished.
And you shouldn't grocery shop hungry. Then you overspend.
Have you ever regretted getting into the radio industry? Lindsay.
No, not really. There was a time where I thought, man, people in this industry can be really, really mean. And if I would have known that, I may have chosen something else. But that was when I worked for one certain company, and the people that I worked with, I was like, golly, you people, they sucked.
Have you ever regretted getting into the radio industry?
No.
Gimpy.
Not yet.
Not regretted. I don't know if I was aware or my eyes were open to how unstable it is.
Yeah, it's true.
We've been very lucky. I was thinking about this morning that Gimpy and I working together for 12 years.
Working on 13 this year, my friend. It'll be 13 in June.
Like, that's not common. There's a lot of changes on the TV world right now, and like anchors leaving and whatever, and it happens fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 12 years, we're pretty lucky. But regret, no. If you could turn into one monster every full moon, which one would you pick? Lindsay.
One monster every full moon. Probably a vampire. I think they're sexy. There's something sexy about a vampire. I wouldn't want to be a werewolf. They're just real hairy and biting someone on the neck isn't so bad.
Okay, Gimpy.
Sliced up at the neck.
Right.
A griffin. A griffin, if you don't know what that is, it's like the body of a lion with the head of an eagle. I think that's pretty badass. I've always been amazed by that monster, creature, whatever. So yeah, every full moon, fly around, pick up a couple of sheep, eat their innards, dump them back on somebody else's house, maybe like an ex or something like that. You're like, where did this half-eaten goat come from? Yeah.
A dragon.
It's another good choice.
Breathe fire.
Yeah.
Once every so many months, I get to fly, or every month or what, I get to fly around. People be like, there's a dragon in the air.
Right.
And then land and be like, no kidding.
Right.
Right.
Be up in a mountain by myself? Sure.
Right. Or in a cave underneath a castle somewhere. Right.
Yeah. I think that's pretty good. This one's interesting. What makes someone a badass? I think the question you have to answer is, what is a badass?
Right.
Yeah, right. It's all arbitrary, right? What you think is a badass, I may not think is a badass.
Yeah. I think when you have the ability to brush stuff off your shoulders, that's pretty badass. When you can kick someone's ass that deserves it, that's pretty badass. No.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if you're being able to physically harm somebody makes you a badass. So Jeffrey Dahmer is a badass.
No.
John Wayne Gacy's. No, you said.
Maybe in someone's eyes, not mine. What is a badass is a good person, someone that sticks up for the little guy, maybe. Someone that doesn't need to be defended, maybe. I don't know. John Cena, The Rock is a badass, I guess.
Right now, John Cena's not. But Gimpy made
the undisputed
he
heavyweight
is,
champ now?
yes, but he's turned heel.
Yeah.
But I think Gimpy hit it. Like, it's pretty arbitrary, because what's a good person?
Right.
It's very arbitrary.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a good person who did bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Martin Luther King's the best example.
Yeah.
The Pope is a good example. Man stole a cross off a dead body. What about you, Gimpy? What makes someone a badass?
I don't know, when they just lay there and they're not into it. Badass, not bad piso. Got it. I don't know. I think being able to jump over the Grand Canyon on a motorcycle is pretty badass. That makes you badass. That's something that not a lot of people can do or are willing to. So to have the balls to get up there on a bike of some sorts, haul ass down this ramp, and then buzzing all the way across to a major giant crack in the earth, I think it's pretty badass. That makes you badass.
Yeah. Or an adrenaline junkie.
Well, yeah, sure.
I don't know. Travis Pastrana skydiving from the edge of space.
Probably wasn't Travis Pastrana.
And then
It was that other guy.
it wasn't Pastrana that did it with the parachute? And he went into a death spin?
Uh-uh.
And he did that. And then he didn't call himself an astronaut, and then the women did it on Blue Origin, same location. And they were like, we're astronauts. We're so lucky to be back on Earth. I've got a good understanding of everything.
Felix Baumgartner.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. Travis Pastrana is a badass, though, because he does, again, that goes along with, me thinking, jumping over the Grand Canyon. He does things that nobody else is going to do, right? He's got the balls to say, you know what? I'm going to attempt and execute this stunt. So.
I think somebody who can restrain their emotions is a badass.
Yeah.
Current TV show you are watching and enjoying. I'm needing something new. Lindsay.
Well, then watch The Last of Us on Max because it is a must-see. I love it. And I was blown away by episode 2 of the second season.
I haven't seen it yet. Corbin, have you watched episode 2
I know
yet?
what happens, but... Yeah. Gimpy, what about you?
Just to be different because, yes, as I am watching The Last of Us, and I can tell you about Righteous Gemstones and all that stuff, I'm going to go with Mobland. I recently started watching Mobland with
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah, that's a good, solid show right there, man. It's modern times. It's not like you think, Godfather Mafia-ish set back in the day or whatever. No, it's got Pierce Brosnan in it, old-ass Pierce Brosnan. And it's good. It's a good show.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to hit outside of Paramount Plus. And
Yeah, right? Because you
yeah,
don't have that.
I mean, I've got someone's login, but I don't use it.
I changed my password.
We've talked about The Pit. Last of Us is good. I'll pick something we haven't talked about, and that is Deli Boys on Hulu. It is a 30-minute satirical. These kids, they're Indian descent, and their dad owned a chain of convenience stores, and he dies suddenly from a golf ball to the head.
Oh, damn.
And they've enjoyed the lifestyle that the dad has provided as this immigrant coming to America and this chain of convenience stores. And unbeknownst to them, the dad was about to be raided by the FBI because he's selling cocaine.
Oh.
Wow.
And what's the name
Out of the
show again?
Deli Boys.
Okay.
And they now are being named the successors and have to figure out how to run the dad's drug organization. And they don't think of Harold and Kumar type of situation. And some really silly moments happen. It's pretty good. And then what's the show on Netflix, Lindsay, with not Heather Graham. What is her name? Goldie Hawn's kid.
Oh, yes. Prime? Is that what it's called? Or Prime Time?
Anyway, it's on Netflix. She runs a basketball team.
Yeah.
I get the girl's name.
The Running Point?
Yeah, Running
Running
Point.
Point, yes. And the main character, she's pretty good. And then the other characters have some good one-liners. It's good absent entourage. You don't have to really follow along storylines.
Yeah, Kate
Hudson, that's what it is, yes. If you could turn any chore into a competitive sport, which one would you dominate?
Ooh.
If you could turn any chore into a competitive sport, which one would you dominate?
I'm pretty good at hand washing dishes, drying them, and getting them away in a timely manner. Also, I can clean a mean toilet. Either one of those.
Gimpy?
I like the idea of competitive vacuuming. Doesn't seem like, it'd be that hard, but you got to think about the obstacles that could, come up. Vacuum gets clogged, whatever. You've got to quickly unclog your vacuum and get back to vacuuming the mess before the other person finishes. I think I might have something there. Put that on the Ocho.
I was going to pick I was going to pick cleaning bathrooms because I can clean all 3 bathrooms in less than an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was thinking, well, one bathroom could be more dirty than the other.
Right.
Or create a stubborn stain. So I'm picking folding laundry. I'm getting the same thing every time.
That's fair.
It's all pretty much the same. There's no new challenge with folding laundry. There's always towels, there's always sheets, there's always socks to match. There's no big surprise with laundry that it's going to inhibit my speed or my timing.
Right.
Until one sock is missing.
Right, and you
That
lose
still
the
gets put
competition.
away. I still fold that. That's not my. That is beyond. That is before me. That's like a bat breaking. Like I didn't break the. It was defective.
Right.
Right. A ball going foul. Like
Right. I did listen. The dryer ate the sock. I didn't lose it.
Right. Or who put this white washcloth in with these dark clothes? Oh,
does that happen a lot anymore?
in my house, if one of the kids are doing laundry,
Really?
they
kinda got it
don't
to
know. They avoid separating. Can't stand
We
that.
ended segregation a long time
I
ago.
think
Lindsay.
separate. I'm being honest. Short of just whites, I don't think separation is a thing anymore with
Well,
laundry.
Then why does my washing machine have a thing for your regular wash of clothes and then your whites and then your towels?
For the same reason it
That
has hot and
wasn't a
cold because you
thing.
don't need hot to do your laundry anymore.
Because that's the
True.
way
I mean, I
it's
do it
always
all
been.
in cold, but
I'm just saying
still.
that to say that there's a feature there is the reason why you should. I short of using bleach, I don't
Right.
think you have to worry about your clothes and a very delicate item. I don't think you have to worry about that anymore. We're number 1, by the way, Rock Station.
Still do.
I do, like, I separate any heavy clothing, so like jeans, sweatshirts,
Yeah.
underwear, socks, only because I don't want my skid marks rolling around with my other stuff.
Right.
It all comes, it literally, there's a phrase for it. It all comes out in the wash.
Well, it doesn't mean throwing the baby out with the bathwater doesn't mean you're like, well, that happens.
Sometimes.
But again, I don't have to. I'm totally comfortable putting everything in and just running. I just,
I can't, especially when it comes to like Marcus's socks, his for game days and stuff. Oh, they're nasty. They're nasty. That's its own.
the laundry doesn't get it clean, huh?
Yes, but I'm not trusting it to do it with any of my
How many times does it
clothes
let you
or-
down?
I've never tried it, to be honest.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
You're listening to the Big Mad Morning Show. This is Tulsa's
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. Make sure I hit this because I forgot, didn't I? Brian Riggs of West Tulsa heard the cue and got qualified. Jared Wazlowski got qualified. You can get qualified too. Listen for that cue every hour at the Big Man Morning Show for your chance to get qualified for CMall 2025. Tickets to see every concert that KMOD is a part of are up for grabs, but you have to get qualified. And to get qualified, you got to listen for that cue. Another chance is coming up very soon. Mel's going to have your chances. J-Rod will have your chances. And then we'll be back tomorrow with more chances every hour. Lindsay, what'd you learn today?
I learned that if you can sit through and watch Deliverance in its entirety more than once, then you might be a badass. And also, breaking the rigor sounds like a job of a true badass.
Gimpy, what'd you learn today?
I learned that death boners aren't somebody with a lot of STDs. And I also learned that Lindsay still believes in segregation.
I learned, Hey, I Shot My Mom is a movie Lindsay has promoted at 9.
Ew.
And I also learned that Rigor is a good band name. It's Corbin say, make sure that dishwasher's loaded right.
It's Lindsay. Stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy, and I'm sorry.